Hi, this is Rainbow Harmony, here to help you find balance and peace to live a more colorful life. And this is a personal reading for someone who hit me up for the last day of my 11/11 personal reads. Because after today, my personal reads are going to double in price. They're going back to their original price. I had a special going on for summer, but now summer where I live is ending. So hit me up by the end of the day and I'll be able to throw your reading in if you would like one. So this is a twin flame reading. This is a personal reading, a love reading. And if you happen to click on this, then maybe there's some information that wants to come through for you as well. Let's get started. So I threw your questions into the spread and I added a couple questions as well. I think this is basically going to give you an idea of what's happening in the joined energy here. And it's going to give you some advice too at the end on how to move forward. So before we get into the reading, I want you to know that there were some cards that flew out of the deck for you. So first of all, I pulled a card from my personal deck as a clarifier on your energy, which is right here. And what I'm seeing is that you actually have a gift of healing and communicating. This is actually, like I said, from my personal deck. It has to do with me, my life, things I've gone through, some themes, some stuff I've been learning, But this card has to do with my psychic and spiritual gifts. And the joined energy between you and your twin is talking about how both of you guys are very sensitive. You guys are empaths, you guys are clairvoyants. This Knight of Vessels, this eel card, it's really interesting. It says, it stands for a charming, cultured, and gallant person. Sensitive and imaginative. He or she takes dreams seriously. That's so me, though. So, like I'm saying, there's a similarity between us. It's probably why you've been drawn to this channel. You're also very sensitive. You're an empath. And it says, he or she runs on a high emotional current. As a friend or lover, he or she is attractive and congenial to be with, exploring the shores of love and friendship imaginatively. So, I got this in the joined energy, and I'm seeing that I think because you guys are both very sensitive empaths, that you are kind of picking up on this shift right now that's happening. There's a lot coming up in your energy body, and I think it could even be producing some anxiety. So, I'm wondering if you're feeling anything in your stomach or your gut. I think that meditation is really going to help. But overall, what's happening is that this relationship is being healed and it's being balanced. And I just think after all the energy we just had with the eclipse and also this new season coming forward, we're heading into September now. And we're in the middle of Mercury retrograde. I'm going to say it again. There's a lot coming up, and so you're feeling this shift and you're feeling all this energy. And, I think what's happening right now is on your end, you are having a bit of an awakening. I think this has actually been going on for a while, though. It's nothing new. You're aware of this, but you're starting to discover your gifts. And so what's coming out for you is that your gifts need to be expressed. It says, express yourself. This is the artist's path. So you're some type of artist, And now you can really choose any way you want to heal and communicate. You don't have to be a tarot reader. You don't have to be like a speaker or a preacher. You could write. You could make music. You could sing, You could make uplifting memes or something. You can write a blog. There's so much you can do with this gift of healing and communicating. So it is an art form. I see right now, currently, you've been feeling a bit bored and a little apathetic. And so they're saying that happiness is found when you express your creativity, when you allow this energy to flow through you, because that's what it is. This restlessness you're feeling, it's an energy. It's like a block in you. It wants to be expressed. And so pick up a pen and piece of paper and start doodling, turn on some music and blast it and sing a song and dance around your house. Like, get creative and find a way to allow this energy to flow and express it, because I think this is the focus. Because like I said, before I even drew these cards, I was just sitting here and praying and breathing and, you know, tapping into your energy and doing all those voodoo psychic things I do to get into this, and these cards flew out of the deck. Like I reached over to the deck to pick it up, and 3 of them just kind of shot out, and this too. So I feel like that came out before I even did this reading, so I'm feeling like it's a message that, like, hey, this is your focus, your guides, your angels, whoever, it's like they're trying to say, like, this is your focus right now, yourself, and this expanding. I'm seeing the boundaries card in the middle of this whole spread, and so it's like, right now you guys are not in union and you aren't meant to be, because, at least on your end, this is a time for you to be exploring this side of yourself. And it's hard to do that when you're, you know, getting sucked into a romantic relationship, and it can help, you know, you be more inspired and creative, but it's like a whole shebang, you know, when you fall in love and meet someone and all that whole thing. So I think that there's a little bit more time that has to go by before, so you can explore this side of yourself. And there's obviously other things that are supposed to happen, everything in divine timing, you know. But yes, that's kind of your energy, and we're going to talk a little bit more about your energy in a second. But the joined energy, like I said, there's this shared, you know, you guys are both empaths, basically. And so you're going to, at times, feel these emotions in your physical body, and the anxiety is something you guys both share in common, and you pass it back and forth energetically. So, you know, meditation is really going to help. This is your twins energy here, and so I feel like this actually might be someone who's into meditation, who's into spirituality, but I'm not sure yet, because I'm seeing this awakening card here, this balance card. So what's happening with this person currently is they are coming to balance. They are coming into alignment, which means that they have somehow, you know, through series of events and things that happen in life, they've discovered more of who they are, and they're feeling more confident and ready to embrace their truth, and they've just surrendered to who they are, and they're becoming more open, and they've been through so much now that they have a lot of compassion for themselves and others. That's what life does. Life humbles you, and or it's supposed to, at least, and it really does help you come to peace and become more compassionate for the people, everyone's journey, you know. But so in short, he's in a good place right now, but it's been a lot of turmoil that's led him here. And I feel like for you, this is your energy, and along with this, the creativity that's coming out, you guys are really marrying each other here. This respect card is very similar to what these 2 cards say together. This is pretty much the equivalent of this. It's saying that you were in some sticky situations in your past, and you just kind of had to, you know, see how this guy, like, built a little hut out of, like, sticks, and he's just, like, making do with what he had. That's a situation you were in. You kind of just had to make do with what you had, but you pulled up your inner strength, and you used your creativity and your intuition to forge this path. And now this is kind of a metaphor. It's like you're out of the woods. The point of this card is that you have a lot more respect for yourself. You know the strength you have now, and so it's making you a lot more confident as you head forward. You're not afraid of the woods anymore. You know what I'm saying? You have a little less fear, which is good. And so now it's a good time for you to really start thinking, you know, what am I being called to do? Like, how am I supposed to be expressing myself at this time, artistically? They're saying it's the perfect time for you to start new projects, access new ideas, and give birth to new conditions. You know, this is so bizarre. I've been doing twin flame reads, you know, like I mentioned, for days now, and what's interesting here is you're the only person where I've had all these random cards be thrown out for your career and for your creativity and for this art, you know, your gifts, you know. I did a reading for someone that was like a general read, and I did a reading for someone that was, they wanted to know more about their gifts and talents and stuff, but that's coming out in the middle of this twin flame read for you, and it seems to be a big focus in the reading. So definitely look into this, spend some time meditating, figure out what this is here. Like, why are they trying to get your attention on this? Is there something coming into your life, you know? maybe there's some opportunity that they're trying to like nudge you towards. So definitely don't ignore this sign. It's a big one. I'm just gonna say it. So yeah, let me know what you think about that. Their feelings about you. This person, I know exactly what this card means. The great thing about this person is that they also have this gift of healing and communicating. Like I said, the joined energy, you guys share this sensitivity, which is what the eel card represents, the empath, the psychic gifts. And so it's great because you guys can really talk a lot and kind of philosophize and think about, you guys like to talk about the world and like politics and like bigger, viewpoints, and you guys really want to spread that love and light and encourage each other. And so I think this person feels like you're home to them. And this card means that by the time that you guys connect and have this union, it's going to be really intense and like this huge homecoming. It kind of reminds me of the last scene in You've Got Mail. Have you ever seen that movie? It's so cute. It reminds me of that, like this huge homecoming. And this pit of snakes you guys have been stuck in, it's like this relationship has helped you crawl out of that and end up on top. And so it's going to be a really beautiful time, a homecoming, So in short, obviously this person loves you with an undying love, and they feel like very nurtured by you and like your home, and likewise. It warms my heart. Will he be visiting soon? I saw this earlier when I first pulled the cards, and I knew immediately the answer was no. You're supposed to be alone right now. You guys are supposed to be separated, probably so you can develop this side of yourself and so that they can continue balancing or whatever. But this card is reminding you that there's a season and there's a cycle for everything in life. So this isn't the right season yet. And it's like this maze, and it's like you're going around and around in circles. You just want to get through that door, and I think they're just trying to empathize with you and say, like, we understand, we know, like, you just really want to get through, but you got a couple more rounds and then you're out. So just keep going, and it's just a matter of time at this point that there's some events and synchronicities and things that need to happen in your life before this can happen and go down. You just have to trust that. His feelings about union. I threw this in. I wanted to know how this person felt about your union, and I'm getting a huge message that they are very focused right now on this independence so that they can have a foundation for their work and for their success. And so they feel very emotional about this union, and so they feel so intense that they're having to like consciously lift themselves up here and stay out of that, because it's very heavy for them to think about this and to go there. It's like very intense for them. So in a good way, they have very strong feelings for you, but it's much, and so they have to really focus more on their, not on union and moving forward with that partnership, but on establishing themselves. So, and as a collective, that seems to be a huge theme right now. So, what he knows that you don't. So, he has to have boundaries right now, and like I said, it's this focus on the independence and the foundation and all that, but he has to have boundaries because he's in a really sticky situation. He's still, like I said, he's still trying, this is his feelings. He's in this pit of snakes, and when you guys come together, you guys are going to get out of this situation together, basically, but he's having to have endurance and just hang on there. I have the feeling like he's in the middle of some really intense program or training. He's got like 6 more months or something. Or it could be that he's working his way up the ladder and he's just having to start at the bottom. And so it's just, there's this storm in the background. His early life was pretty intense. He's in a safe place now, he's better, but he's having to have endurance. But he's tending to this fire, and the blaze is growing, and he's smart and resourceful, and he's gonna get out of this, but he doesn't want to connect right now, because this is his focus. And also, for some people, it's very humbling to be in this situation, and people can be very prideful and embarrassed and not really want to feel like in the best frame of mind to be connecting with that. So I hope that sheds some clarity. I don't want to get too much into his stuff and his life. Like, a lot's coming up. I'm gonna be honest. I tried to record this reading once before, and the camera like cut out in the middle. And so let's just say I've been tapping into this person's energy for a while now, and I'm like really starting to see stuff. But I think this person is such a... They have integrity, you know. They grew up in a really awful situation, and it didn't harden them as much as you think it would. I just feel like by the, you know, because this is their feelings for you, and I just see them like in your arms, and like this boy looks kind of sad, you know. So I feel like there will be this sadness to them, but it's like because they're sensitive, but you appreciate that side of them, and the fact that they're transparent with that, and that they're honest about being sad and like about being a bit depressed at times. And it's like you can connect with that and understand that. And this person is very honest with their emotions, but they also are very strong, and they pull up their inner strength, and not like in a prideful like way, and not in like an arrogant way. And they're very good at balancing their emotions, and that's what this is about being grounded and just having patience with themselves and compassion. So this is a really amazing person, and they kind of remind me of the energy of my current partner right now. It's really interesting. I feel like, you know, a lot of times these types of guys in society can be judged and for being kind of more feminine or whatever, but I love men that are like this, that are honest with their emotions and their opinions, and they can be real and authentic, and I think that's what this person is. So but with that said, they're also not the kind of person that's going to enter into a relationship when they're feeling this way, because they have respect for other people to where they're not going to dump all this stuff on them. So I feel like they need to do a little bit more healing and balancing before they're ready. No one's ever ready, and it's never the perfect time, you know, but at the same time, there can be a wrong time for relationships too, and I feel like that's what's happening here. So now, what you know that he doesn't. I can't believe I'm pulling this card for you. You know, I got this card when my bird died, and then I got it another time when my partner got into a car accident, and so it's a really heavy card. It's a beautiful card, and so I'm thinking about actually reading the book to you. I'm gonna open it up and actually read you this whole thing, but what it's talking about isn't necessarily death, but it's talking about transformation. Because the fascinating thing about when my bird died is that a couple weeks after, I ended up moving to a bigger place and getting this really awesome opportunity, and I wouldn't have been able to accept that if it wasn't for the fact that my bird died, because the place didn't allow birds. So very strange. And then same thing with the car accident, and it ended up leading to all this awesome stuff happening, and it was really strange how it all worked together. But I was able to look back and be like, oh, it all worked out and stuff. So I think that's what's happening here. It's transformation. So this card and this card literally mean exactly the same thing. It's just different decks. So funny, right? Each deck has, this looks kind of crazy, but it's a very beautiful message. So I'm going to read this to you, and I wonder if this is going to resonate with you for just where you're at right now, because your twin is not aware of this. This is probably some of the what's going on deep down. We're deep diving right now. Many interpretations of this card have been made over the years in an attempt to avoid dealing with the essence and inevitability of death. On one level, death does translate to a simple expression of change, but however profound, extreme, and cleansing that change may be, that reading simply does not deal with the core experience and meaning of this card. Much taboo and fear surrounds death, particularly in the West, mainly instilled by the Christian Church's use of concepts such as eternal damnation, judgment, and repentance. Faint echoes of the celebration of a life successfully reaching the end of its journey are still found. However, in the concept of the wake, where people drink and sing in joyous revelry at the passing of a friend or loved one. Once the dead were not feared. They were seen as guardians, holy ancestors, and holders of wisdom. Burial chambers were built with loving precision to align with the rising sun, and clans were buried together in sacred places that remained holy for thousands of years. Death was a part of life, part of the cycle of nature. Like the sun itself, many plants and animals died in the winter, but were reborn in the spring. The sense of loss was tempered with the joy of release and the promise of regeneration. Death acts as a reminder to us of the transient nature of life. Every moment is precious and every living thing sacred. As a metaphor for cyclic change, the journey, this card, is a required experience on the passage around the wheel. It may mean the death of old ideas or concepts that have outlived their usefulness. It may be that it is time to strip to the bare bone the essentials of your nature so that fears and neuroses can be faced and cleansed. So there it is, referencing that anxiety again. There may be some laying to rest with love and joy of a long dead relationship or an old and bitter grievance. But the journey is not to be feared. It is an inevitable and natural part of life to be celebrated and accepted. So, the main meaning here, this last paragraph, it says, "It is time to face the inevitable, to let the bones be laid bare and acknowledge the deepest aspects of your fears and desires. Do not fear change, because this is also a time of purification and realignment. This change may seem extreme and destructive, but old crops must be cleared for new growth to thrive, and static or sterile modes and concepts must perish. A celebration of the past or acknowledgement of the passing of one part of life may be required. Let the threads of the old slip from your fingers with joyful remembrance and enter this time of withdrawal and renewal with patience and calm." All right, that was kind of a lot, but basically, out with the old and in with the new, you know? That's what's happening with you right now, in short. I think that this transformation is leading to blessings, but there could just be a lot of shift happening. And really, this is just a Mercury retrograde thing. It's very interesting doing reads for people in the middle of all of this, but it's a good reminder that the old makes way for the new, and sometimes you have to burn old crops in order to make room to plant new growth. So just think about that. There's a lot of crops being burned in your life, isn't there? I mean, I have not pulled this card in a long time for anyone. And so I feel like what's happening with you is very extreme. So I'm sending you love and light right now, and just have faith that this transformation is going to be beautiful. Don't freak out at whatever is happening in your life right now. It is for your greatest good, despite whatever appearance it may have. 2 more cards here. Advice from Spirit. Look at this. Oh my gosh, this is so true. So, you know what's so crazy here? This is the end of the journey. This is the beginning of the journey. So, endings and beginnings. This is a new path. This card symbolizes you having to take a leap of faith into the unknown and start a new path for yourself. And they're saying expect a miracle. You know, this reading, it's like they don't really want to talk about your twin. They want to talk about this. You know, your creativity and expecting a miracle, taking a leap of faith with this. I'm actually really surprised here. Sometimes these readings get hijacked. I can't really control it. Like, I'll ask questions and then they'll be like, yep, no, nothing. But anyways, this. So that's kind of what's happening here. So I'm still tapping in and hoping to get as much information as I can about you and your twin, but they really want to talk about this, you know? Now, I asked a really fun question. This is a message from your twin's higher self, okay? So the aspect of them that's like love and light and is like one with everything, like just like you have a higher self. This is a message from them. So, oh, how sweet! So do you see here? You see this theme? They're apart. Well, he's saying, be strong because, you know, the separation is very hard for you. This person's gonna go crazy for you when they meet you. They're gonna think you're such a goddess. I just have to add that in there, but basically they're saying be strong in this separation. If you want to get a head start on making this union go as smooth as possible, you can, if you're really into meditation, you can do some past life healing meditations for you and your twin. You can also work on healing your past, because the more you heal your own relationship issues, and the more you come to peace in that area and let go the grievances of the past and stuff, the better your future relationships can go. So I wish I would have known that before I united with my partner, but now I'm doing a lot of that healing and it's helping. So just know, like, the more healing that you do, and meditation is a great way to do that, just to get quiet with yourself and go within and sort some of that out to help your relationships go smooth, you know? And then his last message is this is what you're supposed to focus on, girl. I don't know what else to say. Do you see all these arrows pointing this way? This is so nuts. There is something that wants to come forward. What is this? What is this? What is this that wants to come forward in your creativity? That's like a whole other reading, but honestly, have faith in what's happening here. Have faith in this journey, because I think that, use this journey as an inspiration. Your twin flame can be a big muse for you too, You can write songs about them and poetry and whatever. I hope that this reading encourages you and helps you for where you're at right now, and thanks for hitting me up. Peace out.